This is Excalibur Heavy Battlecruiser, also known as Recruit 75. And I also want to show off a build suggested to me by my friend Unit Delta. I will link their channel in the description down below. The build that they suggested was Architect Drones. But the drones are like missiles. If you don't get me, it's basically using terminal directive, subsumption, burnout reactors, etc. to make drones shoot out like missiles. And this build is actually kind of fun. To start off with, we're obviously not going to go with any weapon because we're going to go for Overseer, which makes your ship not fire any weapons. Instead, you're going to be using your drones for offense. As for shields, you really don't need to focus too much on shielding. If you want to go for a good amount of shield, Reflect is a decent choice. Now the body here is obvious. We're gonna go for Architect. Ataraxia. Now there are two schools of thought when defending yourself from enemy attacks. Either regular regeneration forms and emergency systems, or you can go for Essence Sap. Right now I'm gonna go for the latter, and this is why I'm not gonna take shield durability or regeneration. And in fact, just gonna reroll this. Now there's drones, which opens up the drone tree line. Subsumption is essential. So is terminal directive. Now I'm kind of torn between getting Evo Niche or Fleet Commander, but I'd say Evo Niche. Elegant Construction opens up the path to Self-Destruction and Overseer, both of which are very crucial as well. Fleet Commander is also pretty nice because it increases your drone construct limit, and it makes two of your drones buff. In this case, only one becomes buff, but the buff drone hits much harder than a regular drone in terms of a missile. I also got Advanced Engineering, which also helps out quite a bit. I also want to go for Stabilization, Strafe, the whole shebang. Power Reserves is not really essential. Self-Destruction on the other hand is, and so is Overseer. These mods are not necessary because Subsumption's hull removal cannot be mitigated, so core shielding, those mods do not work. Candescence on the other hand is fun, so is Terminate, Essence Sap. Okay, Agility is also nice. As much as I want to go for burnout reactors, Obsession seems like the logical choice because if you get Evo Niches, they become much stronger, and burnout reactor shows up anyway. Now we're gonna need some improved thrusters to get ourselves out of trouble. All strand and absorption. And yeah, those are basically all of the mods that you need to make this build work. Beyond that, I'm actually just gonna stock up. Now I'm gonna stock up to like 10 levels because getting 20 levels is probably unachievable. Since this build is not that competitive, it's still pretty good, but it's not top tier. The main problem with this build are Hives. Basically those hexagonal triangular enemies that spawn in other enemies. Those guys are your bane, and dealing with them with this build is not fun. Parallelism Freed, Unit Delta's favorite soundtrack. Another quirk about this drone, about the missile drones, is that... No, I'm not talking about rocket drones. those guys are gone. Another quirk about these drones, suicidal drones, is the fact that, okay, that was very clutch. Yeah, this is kind of the weakness of this build. It's not good for dealing with large enemy concentrations, or like just a bunch of enemies in general. But don't worry, I'm gonna try again, because this build does have potential. Oh, this time we just straight up skipped the shield. Rexia, all strand, nah. Bravado's decent. Drone. Yeah, you know the whole shebang. And I think I am done. Yeah, this is what I meant by this build is weak against, hives. The hives can spawn in enemies that can block in the drones and stop them from harming the hives themselves. Actually doing decently against Seraph of all things. Okay, improves thrusters, and these mods are whatever. Shield cooldown could be decent, I guess. Meh. I'd rather try to reroll my way into Evo niche. Defiance, fair enough. It's an okay choice, but well, I didn't find it. So, you know what, I'm just gonna stay here. I could have gone for Defiance, but I'm greedy like that, and I just try to achieve more things. Achieve better. And there you go, you can actually take down Seraph with this guy. And Seraph is like the second tankiest enemy in the game, after Glaucus. Oh yeah, Blue Ship Centered is also a pretty good track. Time to take down this guy. Come on, die, big gun. Now these elite juggernauts have also killed me quite a lot. Okay, be careful. But careful, Scion can be usurped. Okay, gotta be careful. Come on, shield, get back up. Oh no. That was kind of scary, sketchy. Just gonna stay here passively and let these drones take care of these guys. Huh. Well, I'm not too sure about these mods. Okay, fine, Juggernaut it is. I really didn't have much of a choice. That's why I went for it. Battalion doesn't really do anything for me. Shield durability, I guess, could be okay. Oh yeah, flash shielding definitely helps out. Kinetic boost, nothing really worthwhile. At least my shields will come back up quite a lot faster. Oh yeah, Precursor is playing my favorite soundtrack. Now be sure to comment down below if Precursor is actually your favorite soundtrack as well. And even if it isn't, be sure to comment your favorite Nova Drift soundtrack down in the comment section below. There are definitely a bunch of gems in this Nova Drift soundtrack. So I'd like to hear which ones are your gems. Okay, these guys are kind of a nuisance. Thankfully I avoided that meteor strike. This is kinda the lamest wave in Nova Drift. Just one by one mines showing up. Nothing dangerous. Now this is more like it. In case I didn't state it before, it's actually advisable to stay away from the enemies because these drones, they accelerate once they die. They accelerate onto the enemy, so it's actually better for you to stay away because the farther they are, the greater their time is to accelerate. And the greater their velocity, the greater their damage. So basically, these guys have snipe. Oh no! I somehow survived that. Oh no, I don't like these. I do not like this. Thank goodness that Juggernaut is dead. You gotta be careful once again. This is gonna be a tough cookie. Thank you, Comet. You took down the Juggernaut. Now I can take down the Bulwark. And in turn, Seraph shows up. Watch out for that. Evasion time. Evasion. Evade, evade, evade. Unfortunately, these drones are not going for the electrode mines. I had to make them go for it manually. Let's see if Seraph survives Singularity. Oh, he just went right through it. He's so fast that he does not get pulled in by Singularity, but eventually he did die. Well, these mods are whatever. You know what? Volatile shields should be okay. These mods absolutely do suck. What even is the point of these mods? Mines is nah. Well, I absolutely have nothing else. So I'm just gonna stockpile on them. Uh-oh. Now this is Fishy's favorite soundtrack, Centerless. Oh no, 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 this is scary. This is pretty sketchy. Gyroguns are also a pretty sketchy situation with this. Oh no, no, no. Well, I think this is the end of the run. As I said, this is not exactly meant for dealing with crowd control. This is not exactly meant for crowd control. Instead, it does well against medium-sized enemies, because with large, tanky enemies, it takes quite a while for them to die. And in general, this build is more catered towards being a meme than actually being competitive. You can still get decent scores, but it's something to keep in mind. But yeah, I had a blast playing this build, and thank you Nidelta for suggesting this build. My name's Excalibur Heavy Battlecruiser, and may the forks be with you all.